Exclusive. Deadliest catch, Captain Sig hands wheel of Northwestern over to Clark on Tuesday. Deadliest catch sees Captain Sig Hansen squarely back out on the Bering Sea, out of Norway, and getting his son-in-law Clark ready to take the Northwestern helm as he expands his fishing empire. Sig's daughter Mandy is ready to deliver her baby girl, Sailor, born last November 10, and Clark has to be prepared to sit in the big chair and guard the F/V Northwestern. And in TV shows as exclusive clip, Clark is getting a masterclass from father-in-law Sig Hansen as they are 380 miles out. In the tease, Sig is at the wheel and tells the camera that right at that moment, they are about to haul in that area that Clark picked out. He said, "If this pays off, we can get these crabs caught and hopefully see that baby born in time, and we got to get him to the cannery in time before those doors close." After 5 seasons on deck, Clark finally takes the helm for the first haul of his career, while the skipper Sig checks in as his new first mate. And with his strategies producing dismal results, it's time for Sig to get out and get home. Mandy is waiting for her dad and husband as Sailor is due any minute. Captain Sig Hansen bets his son-in-law, Clark's fishing sense, will guide them safely home. Before we head out with the Northwestern this week, let's discuss the season to date. On the F/V Patricia Lee, run by Captain Rip Carlton, the boat continues to rack up injuries. In the last episode, Devon lost consciousness. Then another freak injury went down with Cameron, who rolled his ankle. Rip has had it with the bad luck on his ship. The Cornelia Marie has 2 skippers, Josh Harris and Casey McManus, who have Golden King crab in the rearview mirror and are racing to fill the coffers with Birdie crab. Brother Shane Smith is still working with Josh Harris, and the two are featured together on the spin-off Deadliest Catch. Bloodline. Eternally optimistic Captain Jonathan Hillstrand is hanging tough hunting Golden King crab with his wife Heather and the colorful Time Bandit crew. However, Captain Keith Colburn has the wizard out looking for the Birdie motherlode too. The twist is that Harris and McManus have been fishing for intel with both of these captains, trying to forge partnerships. They hope to partner with Captain Keith, who is reticent to join forces. Jonathan is more malleable with Josh, despite his regrets after a call he received to partner up a few clicks back this season. The takeaway from the last episode is that Colburn is exactly like Sig Hansen in keeping his fishing grounds information close to his chest. Heavy on greenhorns and light on crab, Captain Harley Davidson of the Southern Wind isn't faring much better between unrelenting weather and pots improperly tied down. This upside-down fishing season is wreaking havoc on everyone's finances and prospects this season 18. Tune in to see how the handoff on the Northwestern goes down as Sig lets go of a few more reins. Deadliest Catch airs on Tuesdays at 8:00 p.m. ET on Discovery Channel. April Neal is an entertainment writer and television critic. Neal is a member of the Television Critics Association, TCA, the Alliance of Women Film Journalists, AWFJ, Hollywood Critics Association, HCA, Gay and Lesbian Entertainment Critics Association, GALECA, and Critics' Choice Awards, Film and Television, CCA. Neal writes for the Idaho Press Tribune, Idaho Magazine, Boys Weekly, MSN, Yahoo, and other entertainment sites. Exclusive. Deadliest Catch, Captain Sig hands wheel of Northwestern over to Clark for over a decade. Captain Sig Hansen has been a familiar face to millions of viewers of Deadliest Catch, guiding the fishing vessel Northwestern through perilous waters in pursuit of the elusive king crab. But the tides of time are shifting, and Hansen has decided it's time to hand over the wheel to a new generation. In an exclusive interview with Deadliest Catch Insiders, Captain Sig reveals his decision to pass the helm of the Northwestern over to his nephew, Clark, marking the end of an era on the high seas. A legacy on the water. Sig Hansen is no stranger to the dangers and rewards of Alaskan crab fishing. Raised in the shadow of his father, who captained the Northwestern before him, Sig's entire life has been intertwined with the sea. From a young age, he learned the ropes of commercial fishing, working alongside his father and brothers, developing a deep love for the craft, and eventually taking command of the Northwestern. Under his leadership, the Northwestern became one of the most successful boats in the fleet, earning a reputation for resilience and skill. For viewers, Sig became a symbol of strength, grit, and leadership. The emotional highs and lows of each season of Deadliest Catch often centered around his decisions, his relationship with his crew, and his unyielding determination to keep the Northwestern on top. The show was not just a glimpse into the world. Dedicated his everything to the ocean, to his family, and to the crew who had become his second family. But even the most steadfast captains must eventually recognize when it's time to step back. For Sig, that moment has arrived. I've been at the helm for so many years now, and the time has come to let someone else take the wheel, Sig reflects. Clark has been with us for a long time, and it's hard to believe that he's been on the boat since he was a kid. He's grown into the kind of leader who can steer this boat into the future. The Northwestern is in good hands with him. Clark's rise to the helm. Clark Hansen, Sig's nephew, has been a mainstay on the Northwestern since he was a teenager. While he may not have had the same exacting reputation Sig did at first, Clark quickly proved himself as a capable and trustworthy member of the crew. Over the years, he ascended through the ranks, moving from deckhand to the all-important role of engineer, ensuring the boat's engines were always in top shape. Though Clark's path to the captain's chair has been gradual, it was always clear that he was being groomed for leadership. Under Sig's mentorship, Clark learned not only the technical aspects of the boat, but also the nuances of leadership, how to make tough calls, how to motivate the crew when morale is low, and how to navigate the complex relationships that develop between captain and crew. Clark's relationship with Sig is one of mutual respect, with Sig often calling him the natural successor to the Northwestern's legacy. I've learned so much from Sig, it's hard to put into words, Clark shares with a note of gratitude in his voice. He taught me everything I know about the boat, the sea, and what it means to be a captain. It's been an honor to work with him all these years. But I also know that stepping into his shoes won't be easy. There's a lot of pressure, but I'm ready for it. In some ways, Clark's ascension to captain feels like a natural evolution. But it also marks a fundamental change in the dynamic of the Northwestern and the Deadliest Catch series as a whole. For longtime viewers, seeing Clark behind the wheel will undoubtedly be a surreal experience. After all, Sig has been a fixture of the show since its inception in 2005. But Clark, who has spent years quietly learning the ropes, is poised to steer the Northwestern through even more stormy waters. And while he's humble about his new role, his excitement is palpable. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with this, Clark admits, but I'm up for the challenge. It's not just about steering the boat. It's about keeping the crew together, making sure everyone is safe, and continuing the legacy that Sig and my family built over all these years. I'm ready to keep pushing forward. Sig's legacy continues. His decision to pass the captaincy to Clark doesn't mean he's disappearing from the world of Deadliest Catch. He will still be a presence on the show, albeit in a reduced role. Sig explains that while he won't be actively captaining the Northwestern every season, he'll continue to share his expertise with Clark and the crew, offering advice and guidance from time to time. I'm not going anywhere, Sig says with a smile. I'll still be around, but it's Clark's time now. He's ready, and I trust him with everything I've built. But don't worry, I'll still be around to offer my 2 cents when needed. I don't think I can ever fully leave the water, even if I'm not behind the wheel anymore. Seg's decision to step back marks a shift not just in the Hansen family, but also for the show itself. Deadliest Catch has chronicled the lives of these fishermen for nearly 2 decades, and throughout that time, SAG's leadership has been central to its narrative. With Clark now taking the reins, fans of the series are eager to see how the dynamic shifts on and off the boat. I think this is a great opportunity for both Clark and the show, says executive producer of Deadliest Catch, Matt McDonald. Seg's been an incredible captain and a huge part of the show's success. But Clark's worked hard for this, and we think viewers will see a new chapter in the Northwestern's story. It's not about replacing Sig, it's about continuing the journey. The transition from Sig to Clark also opens up new narrative possibilities. With Clark now in charge, there will be fresh challenges for both the crew and the audience to witness. What will Clark's approach to leadership look like? How will he handle the immense pressure of being the captain? And how will his relationships with the crew evolve as he takes on a more prominent role? The future of the Northwesterners, Deadliest Catch fans know, the nature of crab fishing is always evolving. The waters off the coast of Alaska are constantly changing, and with those changes come new obstacles, new regulations, unpredictable weather patterns, and shifting crab populations are just a few of the challenges the fleet faces every